Hey, this is the McFailure, and this is my friend Evan Haig.
Hello.
And we're at Comic-Con, and we just spent the whole day yesterday in panels, and we were going to give y'all some updates and tell y'all what exactly happened. I was in the Indigo Room while he was in the big H Hall. You want to start?
Sure. Yesterday I went to the H Hall, and I sat through 3 separate panels. I sat through the Twilight Breaking Dawn Part 1 panel. I assume most of our friends are probably not in Twilight, but for those of you who are, the Twilight Breaking Dawn panel had 0 energy. It was absolutely dead.
There wasn't any brain cells?
I mean, every question was like, did you enjoy working with Taylor? Did you enjoy being a vampire, Kristen?
Which is like the same questions they ask every single year.
Every single fucking year.
And they get the same answers.
Yes, there's no difference. I don't like Twilight, but even the footage, I mean, I will be fair. The footage they did show didn't turn me off too much. One clip did, the second clip didn't. The first clip was they showed Taylor Lautner's character reacting badly to news about his tribe or whatever. I don't know the whole story.
Yeah.
This is directed by Bill Condon, who is a good director. I like him. He did, you might know him from Gods and Monsters and Dreamgirls.
I like Dreamgirls.
Yeah, very good director. One of the camera moves here, and I kid you not, and if you didn't already have this argument with people, like, is Twilight a soap opera, basically, this will prove it. There's a scene where this character is confronted with this bad news, and he turns away towards the window, towards the camera cuts to behind him, and he turns, and he's in a close-up facing towards the window while the other characters are behind him, and then he turns around dramatically again. It's complete, it's what you see on, like, General Hospital or something like that. It's a complete soap opera move it's a soap opera camera move and blocking in a motion picture. The second clip, though, that wasn't that bad, was a little bit humorous. It had a little bit fun with the notion she's sleeping, she's about to have sex with the vampire, Edward, whatever his name is. And the thing that actually I didn't mind about that, though, to be perfectly honest, was the way Bill Condon structured the sequences. He made fun of it. He basically said, okay, she's about to have sex with this immortal being. This is what all the fangirls have been waiting for. Now, what do we show? We show her looking through, putting on makeup, wondering, like, what should she wear? Should she wear lingerie? Stuff like you would expect anyone's first time, I guess from a girl's perspective, like, what would their worries be? So that kind of was like, oh, well, all right, that's not that bad. And it wasn't overdone. It wasn't dramatic. It was kind of done for laughs. So there was that. But overall, the panel was just boring. The problem was there's no conflict. The trailer shows no conflict. It's basically like...
It's kind of like Harry Potter Part 1, though. I mean, there was no story, there was no conflict, there was really nothing.
No, but that's the thing. But the difference is Harry Potter Part 1 does have conflict. There's a sense of menace, right, at least?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
That's what I mean. You can say, like, there's no resolution, which is fine because it's a Part 1, but remember, there is always a brooding sense of menace, like, these guys better keep on the run or else they're going to get caught.
Yeah, sure, and they're also an ongoing story of 8 movies, just like Twilight is for unfortunately 4.
Exactly, but the problem with this was there's no sense of menace. Basically, the trailer just says, look, teen girls, you've been salivating over this for years. Here's the moment you're waiting for, the marriage. For this being written by a woman, this is the most anti-feminist, misogynistic piece of crap, because it really is. It always perpetrates like this. Every young girl waits for the day to marry this guy who's going to take care of her, which is what all these movies have been about. The main character, the protagonist, relying on these 2 guys to take care of her. There's never been an instance where she's really stood up for herself, and that's the problem with these movies. Now, they did say... Or show emotion, right. But now they did say, what Condon did say is that the second part of this movie was going to turn into a horror show. I haven't read the book, but I've had friends describe it to me. And if they go all the way with what happens in this final book...
the baby.
The whole baby sequence, they're saying, like, they're doing it, and I'm like... that might be worth it. I would pay money to see it. If you twist this ending, if you have this lovely little fan fiction-y almost type of beginning, and then it turns into this Hammer Studio horror-esque ending of them, like, feeding her blood while she's giving birth, then it would be worth it. But
I would watch it. Guillermo del Toro directed that scene.
Yes.
Now that would be a good one.
The hand sticks up through the... Oh, my God!
A little tree root.
A little tree root, right, exactly. Yeah, that was Twilight, so that wasn't that interesting.
Oh man,
the most likable person up there was by far Bill Condon, who was just affable and fun and just.
And he knows his business. He knows how to make movies.
He knows how to
make Dreamgirls. I mean,
and Gods and Monsters,
which I've never seen.
It's a very good movie. The next panel was Sony Animation, and they began with Aardman Animation, which you guys might know from Wallace and Gromit and Chicken Run. That's their big ones.
Yeah.
And they got up Peter Lord, who's the producer, one of the head and creators of Aardman Animation, and he came to talk about the Pirates, Band of Misfits, which the trailer just premiered online. And they showed us some of the clips, and it was very much a kids panel, basically. But, I mean, what we saw made me excited. It looked very good. And they have an all-star British cast for this. They have Hugh Grant as the lead. There's Imelda Staunton, Selma Hayek, Jeremy Piven, all great names. And then my two favorites, of course, Martin Freeman, as you know, from Sherlock, the British version of The Office, and now, of course, Bilbo in The Hobbit. And he's going to play one of the characters. And guess who else is voicing in this, who plays Charles Darwin, is a Mr. David Tennant, is playing their version of Charles Darwin, which looks very good. And overall, Aardman is such a good animation studio. They know how to tell jokes, they know how to create good stories, and they know how to create these interesting, funny, and lovable characters that anyone can go see. So I definitely recommend that. The other one they showed that is also at Aardman, but is a CGI movie, is Arthur Christmas, which is coming out this November.
Yeah,
Pirates, by the way, Pirates isn't coming out till next March. Arthur Christmas is coming out in November. That actually looked good. I was surprised because the promotion for that I didn't feel that strongly about.
But this one just looked lazy. I saw the trailer about, I think a week ago was when it was posted up, and I hated it. I thought it looked crap.
I have to say, when I would have agreed with you. I hadn't seen the trailer, but I was kind of turned off by the whole notion. And then I saw they showed a clip, and I have to say, it wasn't that bad. It was actually pretty good. The voice acting is pretty good. You have James McAvoy as Arthur.
Which is a very odd choice because I think he has a strong voice. I didn't think he would be a puny little character.
He's an actor. He can play it either way.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Jim Broadbent as the current Santa. And apparently there's a long line of Santas, like each generation to the next Santa, like...
Kind of like in Santa Claus.
Exactly. Now, and Hugh Laurie, Mr. House, as Santa's eldest son, Steve. And it takes a lot of old jokes we've seen in Christmas movies before, Mission Control and stuff like that. So I guess that one of the problems is it doesn't seem... I don't feel it's too new. However, nothing about what I saw really turned me off. I was like, okay, I'm kind of getting into this. My personal feeling on this is wait to see what the reviews are. But I will say I was okay with it. Pirates I really liked. This one I was just okay with. After that, surprise panel, Pee Wee Herman came out. Pee Wee Herman... I swear to God, Quint from Ain't It Cool News comes out to moderate, and they've got no announcements. This isn't in the schedule. And he just says, please welcome Pee Wee Herman. Da-da-da. And all of a sudden,
I missed
Paul
this,
Rubens...
which I am not very happy about.
Yes, you did.
Ugh.
And all of a sudden, Paul Rubens comes walking out in full Pee Wee gear, and, hello! and I'm sitting there going, the fuck is that? Was this scheduled? Sure enough, he goes into it, and he was by far... the most interesting guest next to like Del Toro and Nicholas Winding Refn, who we saw later.
Yeah. Well, that's what happened with Hugh Jackman with Wolverine. Unfortunately, Wolverine was the biggest disappointment ever.
Well, yes, we know. Yes, but the thing was, he was a good guest. He was interesting. What happened was he was switching out of Pee Wee Herman and into Paul Rubens, and then back while he was just Q&Aing, and it was very weird, and it was kind of surreal. It was kind of like. He's breaking character and he's going back into character, breaking character, going back. He was so funny. The audience, one girl comes up to talk to him and goes, how did you come up with the name character Pee-wee? It's kind of, it's a little existential thought for you. But he goes, well, there's this thing called the internet, INTERNET. You can look it up all there. It's okay. He's totally condescending, but funny. Not in a mean-spirited way, but in a funny way.
But those stupid questions can't be answered extremely easily. I mean, the thing is like, people kind of want to know about what's going on with the new movie, since it's been talked about for 4 years.
Well, that's the thing, and they've been talking about They're making a new movie, and they do have Judd Apatow producing. And what he was saying there was that, in fact, Universal is reading the script right now. They will get the news of whether they greenlight this or not probably within the next couple days.